How's it going, everyone? Mike here, August 13th. I thought today we can take a few minutes and do some niche research. So what we're going to be doing is using Merchant Former. So this is one of their tools, I guess. They have a bunch of stuff. It's right off screen here. The one that I'm going to be using today, well, I guess a few I'll be using, but the first one where the information will originate will be the trending phrases for today. So as you can see here, you can kind of go select a month, year, and see what was trending or what is currently trending. So for today, I wanted to kind of go through this and use this information to kind of narrow down the search to see, for example, what's trending, and we're going to be doing that. And then based on these trending words and terms and word combinations, we're going to be looking at different designs and what they look like, the top 100 sellers, all that kind of stuff. So let's get right into this. I've used this tool before in a couple of my videos, and basically this is how it works. This is just showing you the frequency of the search term, right? And again, we have the information is organized here. I guess I can show you that quickly. First, by marketplace, we have US, UK, Germany. We're going to be looking at the United States today. If you're curious, it is completely different. Like, for example, United States, and then if we look at UK, trending phrases and words are completely different. I guess Godzilla versus Kong, I don't know if it maybe came out in the UK recently, where, a couple of months ago it came out in the US. Germany, again, can't speak German, so I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming it is also completely different. So let's look at the US market and we'll see what's going on. So one word, again, we don't get a lot of information from here. What we can see, for example, is just the product type. As you can see here, cases, phone cases, pop sockets, it's the grip, and then the other things like phones, vintage, right? Again, it's just one word that doesn't provide a lot, but at least it gives us the product type. If we go into 2 words, 3 words, we start to get more information, but then what we're going to do is, just to save everybody time, we're going to jump to 4 words, because this is where we get the most information. And as I was scanning through this, as I was going through this, when I was preparing for this video, I'm always looking for things that are coming up in multiple areas, multiple columns, right? And I found 3 different niches, 3 different categories that I wanted to look into and show you guys. Now, when I put these videos out and the information that comes out from Merchant Former, we're always looking at the top, 100, top 500, and sometimes people will say, "Hey, man, these are old designs. Like this is stuff that people were putting up, last year, 2 years ago." Correct, and I'm not saying that they're not. They are exactly that. But what we need to realize is that they are selling. This is the top 100, right? This is what people are buying constantly. So I think it would be a mistake if we didn't look at those niches, and then always look for kind of ways to improve those designs and to better their brand information, their title information, points, and just figure out how to get it in front of your customers better than what they're doing right now. So the design, it doesn't matter if it's 10 years old. If it's selling, it's selling, and that's what we need to look at. So let's look at some of this. The first one that I picked up, where there was a combination of things as I was scanning through this, was the Mayans calendar, Aztec calendar, and this actually, as we're looking, as I was going through, like, it's coming up pretty often, and it's coming up in multiple places. So I figured, let's look at this, because I personally don't have any designs that are based on Mayan and Aztec cultures. I do have a bunch of Egyptian stuff, some of the ancient cave painting, all that kind of stuff, like pretty cool things, but didn't get into like the Mexican, Mayan, Aztec culture. So the first thing that I did, and this is what I was talking about, I pulled it. So this is the second tool. So first thing that I did was I was looking at trending phrases. And these are selected by date, and we're looking at today's date. So trending phrases today, August 13th. And then we go to a different tool. This is called the Merch Hunter tool. And then what it does is it lets us pull up, as you can see here, top 100 products. We select the marketplace, we select the category. So all we're looking at is the Merch by Amazon shirts. We're not looking at different kinds of shirts, for example, that people are selling through their own, for example, fulfillment by Amazon or anything like that. This is just Merch by Amazon. The keywords that we're looking at is Mayans and Aztec. This is a combination. And then search by bestseller. Now, this is pretty cool. Like there's a lot of information that's provided here, right? So it really depends on you how deep you want to go. But excluded brands, as you can see here, like all the stuff that you know is trademarked has already been excluded, and you can add brands that you want to exclude. You can remove some of these, like for example, if you want to look at Disney stuff or Star Wars stuff that's related to these keywords, you can, right? But right now we're going to exclude them because we know that they're trademarked. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select bestseller rank to range from 1 to 500,000, and then price, we're going to include everything because we just want to know. So once we actually get these results, there's some other information that we can look at. Let's look at it quickly and then we'll hide it. So basically, this is the summary of the results that were brought up based on our search terms. So the keywords, Mayans, Aztec, top bestsellers 100, and then it basically tells you total results 14, lowest price $13, $13.07, and then highest price is $19.98. Average bestseller rank about 360,000. So perfect. Like these are selling, right? Keyword count. This actually is really good if you want to get into this niche. So it gives you keyword count. It gives you the count of which word was used how many times. But in addition to that, for example, if you're just curious, what are the keywords to use with this niche, that's the information that you get, right? So that's great. Like we get a lot of information from this. And then let's look at some designs. What's coming up? So the designs, I actually went through this before I started recording. But the designs are, I guess two words come to mind: simple and pretty cool. Like there's nothing really, like for example, to this. The Mexican flag colors, right? Mexican flag. But again, it's the Aztec style eagle, as you can see here, right? So again, it goes right into that culture, that niche, and it's again very, very simple. Aztec mythology gods, ancient Mayan civilization, right? So this is again, it's getting a little deeper. But again, the designs are fairly simple. It's a number of Aztec gods, and then we get into some of the more, I guess, simple designs. But as you can see, for example, the terminology used, the keywords used are all the same and very straightforward. And the thing is, they're selling. These are selling. And I'll just show you the rest of them. For example, there's a couple of cool ones. A bunch of them go to that Mexican flag, Mexican colors, and they sell. So pretty cool stuff. Like I personally, like I said, I don't have any designs, but I can see actually a lot of potential with this niche, and definitely there's in my mind like a bunch of spin-off ancient civilization, cultures, all that kind of stuff, niches that could be selling. So that's the first one. As I was going through, and this has come up in the past as well. Another, I guess, I don't know if it's a niche or it could be a niche, it's a category, but definitely a word combination that keeps coming up. And this has been happening over the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure it's been months and possibly years. But this is it. Just a girl who loves. And then as you go through this, like it gets sometimes a little more specific, but basically a girl who loves, or just a girl, right? And I was like, let's look at this. So a girl who loves is what we're searching, because to me right away, like this will have thousands of different things. A girl who loves hamburgers, beer, whatever. Think of a word and it's there. But I wanted to see the top 100 bestsellers. I want to actually see what's happening, and then within that, because this is such a huge category, huge niche, meaning there's a lot of opportunity. Like I said, you can have a million different combinations with this. I wanted to see within that what is coming up. Is there something, for example, that keeps showing up and where we can actually see opportunity? And I'll let you guys kind of skim through this because it stands out. And again, if you can see, the first three are exactly almost the same, right? Anime is right here again, right here again. Here we go, here we go, here we go, right? So this is, and look at this, for example, the number of sales. 35, 33, 28. We go back up, 22 moving sales. Let's look at the top ones. 40, 50, 40. So again, 158, 81, 63. So just the girl who loves, again, dogs, cats, wolves. There was one with dinosaurs. But again, there's one niche, one category that stands out. And that's kind of what I was looking for. So, you ask yourself a question: is there still opportunity for this? Do you have ideas for similar or different or better designs, or do you think now, because on the first page we've seen 90% of the same design, are we saying that this is kind of now saturated and there's no more opportunity? I believe there is, and I'll let you guys decide, but this is the point of this tool, is basically just to get information. The next one was interesting because I wanted to play around with the combination of words, and again, the same information. I'll just kind of skip this. It was koi fish, and it kept coming up in multiple categories, and I have a bunch of stuff, right? But it's a very common design, very, I guess, straightforward niche or category. But I wanted to see the difference between, for example, when somebody says koi, if this is the keyword that we're looking at, and then koi fish. And it was interesting to me because let's first look at koi. And just as you expected, Japanese retro vintage, right? Koi fish, yin and yang koi fish. It basically just different versions, different colors, like very cool, flashy, colorful designs, and not huge sellers, as you can see here. 7 estimated sales, average. So this is pulling information from 2 different sources. So average bestseller rank for past 30 days. 1 moving sale. So again. It's searched for. It's a very common niche, but again, not a huge seller, not an extreme seller, right? And this is what you get when you look for koi. Very specific, right? When you look for koi fish, these are your top 100 bestsellers. You get the first 2 designs that we got previously, but then what happens is you get fishing designs, right? And it's because, and this is where I was thinking. I was thinking, what is the more powerful keyword here? What are we looking for? We're definitely looking for koi, right? But then fishing items come up. So this is what I was thinking. How can you combine different search terms so that your product actually shows up in multiple categories when people search for them? And I'm not saying that this is what you should do. If this is your design, you want to get it in front of customers who are looking for koi fish. That is where you want to get it. But if somebody is, for example, also looking for fishing, and I was kind of pulling this up. I wanted to see if there's word koi anywhere in this listing, and it isn't. But again, this is one of the top sellers when we're looking for that search term, right? So that was, to me, that was very interesting because, you know, there are many other word combinations, for example, where one word is a lot more powerful, one more broad than the other one. And the question is, can that create opportunity? Or possibly will that mess up your listing because that would mean that your products will be showing up in categories where people don't want to see them, right? And as we go further, again, most of these are not related to koi fishing. Some of them are, but then most of them are not. And again, you know, I'm not exactly sure what to do with this kind of information, but basically the information is there, and then we have to dissect it. We have to look into this to see what kind of opportunities we can create. So that's where I'm going to wrap it up today, because again, we can do this all day, right? We can go through this information, we can combine things, we can look at you know, different sources of information through Merchantformer. But again, the things that have come up are pretty cool, pretty nice opportunities. This creates, for example, you know, for me at least, doesn't create, but it generates some ideas, and then, you know, it gives me a direction to go into. If nothing, for example, actionable today, you know, I can see where the money is and what the huge niches are. And, you know, especially if you see it in different categories, in different, you know, design styles, then you know that there's opportunity there. Anyways, I'll leave it up. I'll leave it here, wrap it up here. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.